Assalamu alaikum. Brothers, this video is about the weird character that appeared in the World Cup in Qatar. A character ingrained deep in the history of the ancient Middle East and ancient Arabia. So what is the reason this character appeared? But before we start, consider checking out our content on Patreon and check out our merch store. And do not forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Brothers, I usually don't talk about news events and trending topics, but I have to talk about this weird event that took place in the World Cup in Qatar. Everybody saw this. Some paid attention and most did not pay attention. Here it is. We see a man with the head of a sheep. This is not random. This has significant history behind it and significant ramifications that we will clarify. We will talk about the origins of the character, an ancient Middle Eastern false god, later in this video. But first, we should understand that this topic is very important for us Muslims. I wanted to make this video for a while, but I did not because I wanted to see how the media is gonna react to it and is it gonna be forgotten. And that's exactly what happened. And to see how everybody is gonna deal with this strange story that's happened in the World Cup, a scene stranger than fiction. This happened when Morocco played Croatia. In the stands in the match between Croatia and Morocco, a strange looking person appeared to us, and various channels and websites talked about him, and everybody wondered, where did this man come from? Did he come from hell or heaven? Maybe another planet, another dimension? A very strange thing to witness live. I was not only blown away by the scene, but also by how this was taken very lightly by the press in the Arab and Islamic countries. Literally nobody cared, except some YouTubers, Instagram pages, and that's it. I think we all agree that this World Cup was the strangest in history. Arab countries beating the likes of Argentina, France and Belgium, and the mind-blowing rise of Morocco that saw them face all their neighbors. At the beginning, Western media did not want Qatar to host the cup, and at the end of the cup, every fan agreed that this was the best World Cup ever. The weirdest thing is that fortune tellers talked and the articles talked about a big event that was gonna happen inside the stadium towards the end of the tournament. An event that was gonna shock the world. They talked and talked way before the end, and they were right. Just one day before the finals, we have this guy with the head of a sheep in the VIP section, and nobody is reacting to it. Of course, before this happened, people kind of took it too far. Some people talked about a very big tsunami that will take place in the Arab world, and some predicted an earthquake that was gonna take place. But no, the big event was the appearance of Baphomet in the VIP section, watching the second most important match of the tournament, and nobody cared. Brothers, before we continue, please support the channel by checking out our upcoming series of documentaries about the jinn on Patreon. These videos will be exclusive to our Patreon audience and won't be posted here on YouTube. We also have a merch store. Pick an item with the design of your liking as a way to support the channel. Thank you so much. What is important about this matter is that the whole world had its eyes on the screen. The perfect time to send a subliminal message. Baphomet is secretly worshipped around the globe on the basis that he is a god. The truth is that those who worship Baphomet are Satanists, and this scene in the World Cup was a challenge to Arab countries and Islamic countries, and all of this has an exact purpose and is not some random event. In the presence of people and in the presence of eyewitnesses watching the scene, wanted to say that we are the ones running this scene behind the curtains. Everything that happened in the state of Qatar and outside of the state of Qatar is in our hands, and you cannot do anything about it. We can worship Shaitan publicly in the hearts of the Arab world and the Islamic world, and no one is gonna stop us. This man is not from another planet, nor from another place or galaxy. This man was insulting Islam and Muslims in their own countries in front of everyone's eyes. This is a clear challenge from those who hate Islam. The challenge is very clear. Now, let us talk about the character in this scene. Baphomet. Baphomet is an ancient Middle Eastern god also known as Baal or Baal. Baal is a god worshipped in many ancient Middle Eastern communities, especially amongst the Canaanites, Al-Kan'aniyun, who apparently considered him a fertility deity and one of the most important gods in their pantheon. Worshipped in ancient Canaan and Phoenicia, Baal was the son of El, the chief god, and Asherah, the goddess of the sea. Baal was considered the most powerful of all gods, eclipsing El, who was seen as rather weak and ineffective. In various battles, Baal defeated Yam, the god of the sea, and Mot, the god of death. They also worshipped him as a fertility god who provided children. Baal worship was rooted in sensually and involved ritualistic institution in the temples. At times, appeasing Baal required human sacrifice, usually the firstborn of the one making sacrifice. After this, Baphomet or Baal was extensively worshipped in North Africa, in Carthage, in modern-day Tunisia. Baal was known as the chief of the pantheon of Carthage and the deity that made vegetation grow. As with most deities of Carthage, he was seemingly propitiated with sacrifice, likely in times of strife or crises, or only by the elites. I will let you link this description to what we have right now and what's happening right now around the globe, and see if you can connect the dots. Let me know in the comment section below. You make your own conclusions. So Baal or Baphomet was linked to sacrifice in Carthage in the ancient Arabia, and the Romans hated Carthage for that. Baal or Baphomet is still worshipped to this day around the globe. I hope this video was informational enough and that you have learned something from it. I say this and ask God Almighty for His protection from false gods and from Iblis and his shayateen. Brothers, before I finish this video, consider supporting us on Patreon and supporting the production of our Jinn series exclusive to Patreon. Grab an item from Deep Into Islam's merch store and support the channel. Like and subscribe and activate the bell icon to watch the video before everyone else. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.